Here we go. Hey guys, it's Mr. Wolfie back again, and I thought I would take the opportunity to clarify and analyze some things. Okay, so I did the video about kind of my thoughts on what freedom of speech means and why Colin Kaepernick, why he was not doing anything wrong. And I got some things wrong about the subject. Like I had said that he was doing it because he said that he was oppressed, but it turns out he was saying, or what he said later to clarify or something like that, was that he was actually just doing sitting down to protest how the country oppresses specific people, which once again is protected by the First Amendment. And that would have been fine and good, like if not for a few other things that happened later, like some things he said. Okay, so they did a really long press conference, and he kind of tore into everything that everybody's been saying lately. Like, he really doesn't like Donald Trump. He really doesn't like Hillary Clinton. I imagine he does like Bernie Sanders, if I had to take a guess. He didn't really say anything in that regards. Seems like he's a feel the burn type, which I don't like for other reasons, because I don't like socialism. I don't like, and you know, Bernie Sanders is that close from being communist. I don't like communism, but it is what it is. You have the freedom to be whatever you want to be and believe whatever you want to believe, because it's the United States. That's why I don't believe in socialism and communism, because I like the way things work when you stick to a more free society. So anyway, point is, back to what we were talking about. Everything he said would have been validated and fine, and nobody, I mean, everybody, you're going to have people that are just super against what you're doing, especially in a protest culture, no matter what. He would have had a lot more support, though, if he hadn't have done this thing, and apparently it was already something that happened, and nobody really talked about it until after this, and they're like, oh, remember that happening? The fact that he was wearing some socks that had pig faces on them, and the pigs had cop hats. So, literally saying cops are pigs. And he wore them openly at practice to protest the cops that were violent. Okay. Here's where you screwed up with that. And here's where the people, it validated the message that the people that really don't like him, it validated everything that they've been saying, which is that he's just anti-cop. Because he released another message afterwards clarifying that, oh, well, I was actually just talking about the cops that are getting off for killing these people wrongfully and all this stuff. And then he went on to say that he has family members that are cops, so he's not anti-cop at all. But that's one of those statements that's dangerously close to saying I'm not racist because I have a black friend. And it happened afterwards, or he said it afterwards, so it's like, let's do as much damage control as we possibly can. I don't want to just completely get thrown off message here, so I'm going to say this before this gets blown out of proportion. Why would you wear the socks if you didn't think cops were pigs? Like, that's what the socks, I'm wearing this Donate Blood shirt because I donate blood. I wouldn't wear it if well, I guess that's a silly thing to say, because people that don't donate blood wear Donate Blood shirts all the time. Anyway, that's not a good comparison. I don't know where I was going to go with that. What the problem with that is it takes away from the message. It gives people ammunition to say that he's just a crazy anti-cop Looney Tunes, and it's going to make everything that he says, pretty much everything that he said that was valid, is going to invalidate it, at least to a large segment of the population. And I had a interesting conversation with several people about this subject, and one of them that I had that kind of spurred me to make this video was that they were saying that it's a form of oppression to tell somebody how they can protest. But that doesn't make any sense. And within this context, what is happening? And you know, they're like mad about the socks. We're being murdered, and all this stuff's like, yes, people are being murdered all over the United States, and it sucks. And it has little to nothing to do with race, and everything to do with the fact that human beings kill people a lot. And there's so many subjective circumstances. It's not some kind of organized, well, you know, I'm not one for conspiracy theories. I don't think the government is like organizing this huge plan to eradicate entire groups of people or anything like that. I think that's silly. But that's apparently what a lot of the people that are supporting Copernic actually believe. Anyway, the point is, it's not oppression, because here's what's going on. You have the right to protest how you want. Well, then there are some limitations as far as they don't want you to cause harm to people, so you can't protest by... You can't have violent protests and sort of things like that. Anyway, no one's saying he can't wear those socks. No one's saying he can't sit down for the national anthem. There's, once again, no federal law that says you have to. And that's why the Veterans for Copernic thing came out and made a lot of sense. They were like saying, hey, I always stand for the national anthem, but I didn't go to war so that the government could force somebody to stand for it. That's valid. That's 100% valid, and it goes along with what I said in the other video. But how you protest can then be interpreted freely by the people that witness it. So if you're wearing the pig socks to protest, and someone says, that's stupid, I don't care what you have to say anymore because you're stupid, that's not them oppressing anything. That's you turning them off from the message by saying something that they're just not gonna like. And I don't understand why people don't get that. I say it all the time. I don't really like to consider people in general as stupid, but there are a lot of people who are too stupid to realize these things and put two and two together. There's a lot of people that are too stupid to realize that when you wear the pig socks, which obviously infer that cops are pigs. It doesn't even matter if you're saying all cops. It says you view cops as pigs. Then that's going to turn people off your message. It's good. Any valid points you had, they're going to be like, that's wrong. I don't agree with that. And they're going to say, whatever, I'm not going to listen to you anymore. You don't make crazy mistakes like that if you want to do something productive. And that kind of goes back also to the fact that I don't like protest culture in general because I find it counterproductive to what it's trying to say. It's like somebody, just sitting down for the national anthem and saying, the country needs to do better, I'm not going to stand for the national anthem until it does. It's like sitting around and refusing to drive your car until somebody else changes the oil. Why don't you just change the oil yourself, is what I'm saying. And I don't know. I guess that's all I really wanted to say during this. I still need to make that video about the Declaration, or the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, all that. I just wanted to clarify some things. I was wrong about his intent and what he was saying, and it's not about how rich he is and all that stuff. His protest concept was valid. What I'm saying is, and it's actually protected by the Constitution, what I'm saying is he invalidated a lot of his good points by sounding like a loony and wearing the pig socks and all this other stuff. And if you want to get people to listen to you and you want to actually change something, you don't alienate people. You can't. It's just like being voted in for the presidency, and I am definitely not. This is why sane people avoid politics and avoid being in the public square and all that stuff and being judged, because they know that no good comes of it in the long run. Any little mistake you make is permanently tarnishing everything that you've got going on. So just the pig socks were a mistake. That's all I'm really saying. And it's probably going to come back and just make more people side with the opposition and say that he's crazy. No, the only people that could force him to not do this would be the NFL or his coaches. The people that actually employ him and have his contract on file. He didn't sign any contract that said he had to do this, or do anything like that. But they could institute it. I'm not for that. I think the NBA does have that. But if it's a private business, what can you really do? If enough people protest the protest itself and do it by making the NFL lose money by not buying tickets, by not buying jerseys, by not buying this and that and this and that, it will encourage them to change the rules to where you can't do things that turn away our sponsors and stuff. That would be the only thing that would, you know, would match up with what a lot of people are saying is oppression or somebody forcing him. Nobody can force him to. That's why the Constitution is great. That's why America is great. Peace out. Love you guys. This has been Mr. Wolfie.